What's up, guys? We're out here at Eldridge Park, which is smaller than I thought it was going to be. We've got very little bait today. I've got some corn and some bread, but I don't have my landing net with me because I actually lost it. So big carp are out of the question because I don't want to have to pull them onto the bank without a net. That's for the fish's safety. So I thought to myself, you know what, you've got a good canister of worms here, go catch some bluegill. But it turns out that even at room temperature, worms melt. And yes, they actually melt. So I don't have very much bait today. Or a target species, oh God. So I'm just gonna put on a single kernel of corn. I'm gonna toss it out right at the edge of the moss here, which is actually a great spot for fish, don't get me wrong. And just see what takes, if anything takes. Got a float on, do a little float fishing today. I'm going to turn you guys so you can see the angle that I'm casting out to, so you can see the float if it goes under. Look right behind me. I totally didn't see that massive white egret is sitting right next to me. You can see him right there. The float just moved for the briefest of seconds. It just dipped and came back. I still got my bait. God, look at all this. This is a mess. You know, I'm willing to bet you this is probably not a native species either. Just a feeling. If there's anything that takes over an environment faster than an invasive animal, it's an invasive plant. I'm going to try. Hey buddy, what's up? Looking right at us. There, you can see him now. Staring us down. Definitely waiting for me to catch something. So let's not disappoint him. Cast right there, see what happens. Okay, just saw fish. Float, fish, float, fish. I'm trying, pal. Go. Just back out there. Yep. Oh, got that one. Oh, because that one is not a that was not a bluegill. Look who, the moment I hit the water, this catfish came up. What on earth just happened? Oh, this catfish just hit you guys with a bead of water. There you go. Yeah, this guy just came up. Little channel cat just took that bait like nobody's business. Come on. Okay. I'm gonna use this knife as a wedge. Not gonna cut the fish, but I'm gonna use it to get some leverage in the bend of the hook here. Get it out of his mouth. There we go. Nice little channel catfish. I'm surprised he came up and took the bait. A little piece of corn. I mean, a half a kernel of corn under a float. The moment it hit the water. Visitor, look who's here. Look over here behind me. You want this, buddy? I don't think you can eat this, pal. I think, actually, you probably can eat this. You want it? Are you gonna swallow this whole fish? Let me tell you what, hang on a second. Before I sentence this fish to its doom, let me just check one thing. Okay, he's regulation size, so I can do what I want with it. All right, buddy. You are gonna have to. You're okay. You're gonna have to get on camera if you want him. Nope. Fish found his freedom. Fish found his freedom. You snooze, you lose, pal. Finally, on a piece of bread, managed to get one of these bluegills, one of these bait thieves. Now, heron friend is nowhere in sight. Oh, there he is. He's way down there. Look, I got one, buddy. He doesn't care anymore. He's hanging out with some other fishermen. How could you? Pretty neat. I am going to keep this though for bait for other fish. So if that guy kind of decides he wants to come back over here, you know, give him a taste of this. Fish number 2, and guess who came back? All right, pal. Now you have to be on camera when you eat this. Watch this, guys. So I got bluegill 1, bluegill 2. Come here, buddy. You can have it. Is that cool or what? So neat. That is so cool. Now he's gonna swallow it. I'm gonna give him the second one too. Ah, ouch. Because I was gonna use these fish for bait anyway. I'm gonna humanely dispatch this one off camera. He's still trying to swallow that first one. Okay, here you go. You interested now? Here he comes. You want this fish? That is so cool. That is so cool. What a fantastic animal. He's dipping the fish in water now so he can swallow it a little bit easier. Fantastic. Fantastic animal. Oh, that just made the whole day worth it. All right, let's have a little bit of a walk around this pond and see what else we can find. Well, guys, one of the things that has stood out to me the moment we arrived is if you look down the back of the bank, all behind me, it looks like the walls, the edges of the bank are just pink. And what you're looking at, what you're seeing are these. Right here, these are apple snail eggs. You can see down behind me on the ground where I'm getting them right there, just tons of them everywhere, just stuck to all these different surfaces. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, you just murdered a bunch of baby snails, apple snails are actually one of the most harmful invasive species in the state. And I remember as a kid, not even as a kid, maybe 10 years ago, you know, which is about when I graduated high school, you didn't see any of these. They just weren't here. And over the last decade, they have just invaded. You can see here, look, just look down the bank. They stick their eggs to anything that stays above water. Just all over the place. These apple snails are just taking over. And they're huge, by the way. The reason they get their name apple snail is because they're about the size of an apple. They live in Florida, and they have made their way down here. And I think the apple snail is native to Cuba, which is probably how it ended up getting to Florida. There was a lot of traffic going back and forth between Cuba and Florida in the 1960s. And I think inadvertently, someone, somewhere, must have accidentally brought something with them, which is how most invasive species get from one place to another. They hitch a ride, and they, you know, just took over Florida. The Everglades is full of them. Luckily over there, they have what's called a snail kite, which is actually, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a bird, it's a kite with a bill that is specifically hooked to reach into the shell of a snail. So those predators are a little bit better at keeping them in check. Out here in Texas, there's really not a lot that eats apple snails. I think the one hope that Texas Parks and Wildlife have identified to try to keep them in check is the crayfish. The crayfish don't eat the snails, but they do eat the eggs, and they're one of the only animals that have been documented to actually eat the eggs on a regular basis. But anyway, I'm seeing a lot of fish activity out here. Here, and then here as well. You see those little bubbles in the water there? Let me see if we can pull something out here. Let's set you guys down. Just going with a single kernel of corn on a float. Hopefully I can cast out far enough with this super light rig. That should be fine. Let's see if anything takes. Yep, right away. Right away. I can see them. I can see them swimming around the float. That one of them just swam by and went wah, and just took the bait off like a shark. And I've seen sharks do that, you know, fishing under a float, usually on piers, and you get tiny black tips and spinner sharks, and they'll just swim by and they'll just bite your bait in half. And that is actually what just happened with that little bluegill. All right, by the way, if you're ever casting super light, like this little piece of foam weighs almost nothing, this kernel of corn weighs almost nothing, a decent trick is don't try to reel in close to your rod tip and cast out. Give yourself some slack. Enough slack that you can reach back down the same length of your rod and use centrifugal force. You know, make an arc, make a circle, and you're actually going to use physics to your advantage. Just the laws of physics are going to help the outside of this circle spin faster than the inside. You think about it. Think about a fan blade, a helicopter blade. Anything that moves in a circle, the outside is going to move faster than the inside, even on the same object. If I start rotating this in a circle, the outside's moving faster because it's covering a greater amount of distance in the same amount of time, which is going to propel it further when I release it. So a little bit of centrifugal force never hurts. Oh! That one took me by surprise. I wasn't even looking. This one is different species. This is a little warmouth here, as they are known for the incredibly bright display of color that flashes into their cheeks when they're angry, like war paint only on a fish. Get this hook out of you, buddy. There you go. You can see that I'm not going to do my usual and let him flop out of my hands. You can see the brilliant colors in his mouth. Lovely fish. Very pretty. It's so hot out here. Let's let this guy go. Well, come here, buddy. Interestingly, I didn't notice it till he was swimming away, but he has had many, many bites taken out of his back. Almost like he's been attacked by multiple birds, or he's just been bullied by the other fish, which is actually what I'm thinking probably has happened. Let's get this out there again. I got another one. That is a lovely bluegill. That is a nice sized bluegill. Come here, buddy. There we go. Nice little fish. Nice little fish. The sun is right above me, so there's really no way I can hold this in perfect lighting for you guys to see. There you go. That's about as good as we're going to get right there. Nice fish. Let's put him back. Alright guys, change of location. We were doing good catching bluegill out at that park, but I kept running into the problem of the camera battery overheating on us. We had to stop filming repeatedly. So what I did is I charged up the battery a little bit in the car, cooled it down with the air conditioning vents. Little swifts all over the place. Oh, that's not a swift. What was that? Oh, maybe it was the swift. I don't know. It was really, really pretty. Anyway, we changed locations more than anything, so we could give a chance to the battery on the camera to cool down a little bit. So we've come out to Lonnie Green Park, which is the spot that I've wanted to fish at night and haven't got a chance to do it yet, just based on time. I do have the materials. I bought some glow-in-the-dark floats and stuff, so we'll come out here and do a night video soon. But for now, just want to see if we can catch any more bluegill or some bass, because I've seen bluegill, bass, and crappie caught here. So I'm just gonna, these birds are so beautiful. Guys, check this out. So I showed you the apple snail eggs earlier. Let me show you an actual apple snail. I'm not trying to creep up on the snail. That's not why I'm walking like this. I'm walking like this so I don't slip and fall in the water. Ugh, here we go. Turn you guys around. There he is. Just creeping along. There he is. You can see him under the water right there. It's a big snail. You do get bigger than this though. Try to turn him around. There he is. And he just closed up. There's an apple snail for you guys. There you go. God, what a huge gastropod. Massive. Anyway, we'll leave him there. Doing anything else would be pointless because there's another one over there and over there and over there. So what I think I want to do, apparently there's a train over there. See that train? Anyway, what I want to do is I'm going to go on top of this bridge and I actually want to drop a soft plastic worm down where you see that fence post, that railing going into the water. I want to jig it up and down, see if we can't get anything that way. Grab our stuff. Ooh. Should always be extremely careful when you think you're going to fish off of a bridge. Now this one, if you look at it behind me, it's a pedestrian walkway on this side. There's not one on the other side, and that's where I wanted to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk over here, across the bridge. Oh yeah, this is a great spot. Yeah, and we'll come over here along the edge of this. It's kind of a safer spot here. You can see that is an excellent spot to cast. And all along that fence that's under the water there, it's a great spot to cast as well. Fish on, guys. Fish on. Oh, finally. Oh, I lost it. No. No. Oh. Ah. It was a big fish. Hi, change of locations. Hi, change of locations yet again. I actually did catch a bass. Good sized one too. It's so hot outside. It's so hot outside that the camera battery keeps dying every time I try to film. I've actually got a wet towel over the top of the camera to keep it cool. A little bit of corn. Oh. Let's see if we can catch a bluegill. Got him. Oh, God, so much sweat dripping in my eyes. Little warmouth, tiny little guy, tiny little fish. You can see the sweat dripping off my elbow there. It's really hot outside. It's really hot outside. Nope. At least they're keeping the bite alive. That's something. Okay. Well, it's been a long day. I am incredibly hot and tired. I'm going to try to catch one more bluegill. Then I'm heading back. So in the meantime, Romero Wittaker 2 coming up this Saturday. The rematch. I've got Wittaker. I think Wittaker is going to win by finish this time. I think Bobby Knuckles is the best middleweight on earth. Let me know what you think. Romero's a freak athlete, though. You never know what's going to happen with that guy, but I think he's pretty predictable. A lot of people say he's unpredictable, but in a way that makes you predictable. I mean, basically, he relies on his athleticism and getting comfortable. So when people are in there with him, if you let him fight at his pace, where he's kind of waiting to throw his shot, he can read your timing really well, and then explode into things like flying knees or uppercuts and stuff like that. But if you dictate the pace and keep a high pace and make it, you know, past the first 2 rounds, Romero's done when he's in a fight with a high-level guy like Wittaker. So yeah, Wittaker by TKO. Gosh, now even the bluegill are giving. Oh, as I talk to you guys about how I'm not getting any bites, the float vanishes, and I missed one. Let's get it back out there. Still got plenty of bait on there. Oh, right away. This is a good one. This is a big fish. Yeah, it's a good sized bluegill. Oh, that's a perfect way to end the day. This guy's huge. He's huge. He's huge. Hashtag I'm with her. Anyway, let me get the hook out of this guy's mouth. Yeah, look at this. Lovely fish. Just gorgeous. Let me try to... Disgusting plastic bag out of the way. Let me turn you guys a little bit. Look at this. Lovely bluegill. He's big. That's a big fish for his species. And look, you can see right there that beautiful spot. These lovely stripes. And, try to turn him over without getting spined. His throat turns this dark red color when he's upset. And he's kind of calmed down now, so it's more of a brownish gold, but lovely fish. Ah, just great. Just great. Anyway, let's let him go. Almost let himself go. Oh, spines. Spines or something else. Alright guys, say goodbye to Mr. Bluegill. Take y'all down. Make sure you can see him in the water. There he is. Kind of let him recover, but he doesn't need to. He's gone.